You're watching KMOV Channel 4. Thanks for choosing News 4 St. Louis at 5 o'clock.
When Carol asked him, if you talk to God, what would you say? And he said, I would look him in the eye and say, why have you been so good to me? I think by now God has looked back at Jack and said, because you deserved it.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. St. Louisans are taking time out of their day to heap more honors on the memory of our friend, the late, great Jack Buck.
Thousands of fans attended today's memorial service celebrating Mr. Buck's life, and News 4's Ann Steffens begins our team coverage.
Vicki, it's easy to see how much Jack Buck was loved, and it's tough to cram the 77 years of Jack Buck's life into an hour, but that's how long the tribute lasted, and one of the places his friends say Jack loved the most.
We're all here today to say thank you to God for Jack Buck.
The purpose is simple, the meaning profound.
Jack Buck gave a lot of love to all of us, and we thank him.
Thousands of fans thanked him, sweating through the afternoon sun to celebrate nearly 5 decades of Buck the broadcaster.
When we think of Stan Musial's 5 home runs in a doubleheader, we also think of Jack Buck. When we think of Lou Brock's stolen base records and Ozzie Smith's 1985 playoff home run, we also think of Jack Buck.
Buck's family, including wife Carol and all 8 of his children and his brother and sister from Ohio, heard the same word from those who worked with Buck, knew Buck, or just listened to him call the games.
Respect, I heard Mr. Matheny mention that word. Well, that epitomizes Jack Buck. Take a look in that dugout. Players don't come out for these kind of things.
But they came out for Jack, as did so many, to open the stadium and organize a ceremony. No one was paid. Instead, they paid tribute to the man some say is the greatest Cardinal of all.
When Carol asked him, if you talk to God, what would you say? And he said, I would look him in the eye and say, why have you been so good to me? I think by now God has looked back at Jack and said, because you deserved it.
Jack Buck was a lot of things to a lot of people. One of the things he definitely was a great storyteller. Coming up at 6, there was a lot of humor in today's tribute, and you'll hear what Jack Buck really thought of the Cardinal players. And Vicki and Julia, Steve Savard will also have reaction from the clubhouse. You saw those Cardinal players. They were there in force, and so he'll have reaction from Tony LaRusse and some of the players as well.
Beautiful service today.
It was.
Jack shared a lot of humor with me. We often met down in the garage as we came in, and he told me lots of great stories all the time. Thank you, Ann Steffens. Well, this day of honoring Jack started very early for fans showing up this morning to view Jack's casket. News 4's Brenda Madden talked with those who say today's memorial is befitting a legend.
Under a hot St. Louis sun, Cardinals fans sat quietly and without complaint as they listened to tributes from some of the people who knew Jack Buck best.
It was great, I thought.
It was a very nice ceremony. It was a little warm, but we got through it.
I respect the man so much for his humanitarianism, and he reminds me of my dad, and just for his patriotism, and he was just a wonderful human being. How can you not come?
The fans who lined up early this morning to view Jack Buck's casket probably asked themselves the same question. The stadium opened its gates at 7 o'clock, allowing fans who couldn't make the afternoon ceremony to pay their respects before going to work.
Well, it's just a wonderful tribute to such a wonderful man, and to have it in the stadium where, I mean, that was his home away from home.
It was real sad, but I know he's watching over us. He's wishing the Cardinals well, and that's a winner.
A trademark Jack Buck phrase, one that will certainly live on in the memories of fans like Carol Sinclair, who today stayed until the very end to watch Jack Buck's casket leave the field.
I'm just going to miss his voice filtering across the backyards as all my neighbors every night played the game, and it was summer.
At Busch Stadium, Brenda Madden, News 4.
Funeral services for Jack will be held tomorrow. The funeral begins at 10 at the Twin Oaks Presbyterian Church in West County. The family is asking that only close friends and family attend the funeral, but you can hear the service broadcast on KMOX radio. The service will be carried live. Following the funeral, Jack will be laid to rest in a private ceremony at the Jefferson Barracks Cemetery.
Well, Jack Buck said he could never turn away a child in need, opening his heart and his broadcast booth to dozens of youngsters over the years. Health team reporter Lisa Monzo talks to a man whose childhood tragedy led to an inspirational friendship.
He started sending me baseballs, and with each baseball, he would say, "You'd only get another baseball if you write a note to that player who signed the ball." So I started writing my notes out to the players. The balls kept coming.
A simple thank you note was a huge task for 9-year-old John O'Leary. His hands and his body were severely burned from a gasoline explosion. But John wanted those baseballs, and Jack Buck had made a promise.
They came about once a week, and each one has a different signature, and there's some from the World Series. And
40 in all. Buck and John met at St. John's Mercy Medical Center's burn unit. He spent 5 months there. He wasn't lonely. Buck made sure of that, bringing local celebrities by to keep John company until he could visit them.
Jack Buck took me down to batting practice. We sat between, I think, Red Shanience and Whitey Herzog, and just the four of us watched batting practice.
John last saw Buck in October. Now John wishes he had told Buck one more time how his acts of kindness helped a little boy grow into a confident man who now runs his own housing rehab company.
It was a lot like a grandparent out of town dying. Someone close to you, but someone who you're not able to see that often. So it really hurt.
Inspired by Jack Buck, and because his father has Parkinson's disease, John began the Toast for the Cure, an annual party to raise money for Parkinson's research.
It made me realize that one person can affect someone else's life by doing simple things, you know. He just took a little interest in me, sent me balls, and I realized that my actions can also affect someone else's life.
O'Leary's party raised $10,000 for Parkinson's research, and he's already planning another fundraiser for this October. Jack Buck's life will no doubt be celebrated at that event.
Absolutely, and he honored his commitment.
He even sent John a ball, a glass ball from the Hall of Fame when John graduated from St. Louis University a few years ago. So he never forgot him, 15 years.
That's phenomenal. Thank you, Lisa.
Great man.
Well, you don't have to head to Busch Stadium to see a memorial for Jack Buck.
We will show you a tribute to Jack that thousands of St. Louisans will pass every day. And next, investigators release a preliminary report and the distress calls from the fire that killed 2 young St. Louis firefighters.
Also coming up this evening, playgrounds are supposed to be fun places for children, but a new report says a surprising percentage of playgrounds are actually dangerous to your child's safety. Stay with us.
It's humid and the air quality is unhealthy for some with special needs. We'll have the outlook as we head toward the weekend for rain and also your forecast coming up.
For a list of Kansas City flavor package discounts, call 1-888-KC-GETAWAY or go to visitkc.com.
Thinking about starting your own business? Did you know that buying a franchise is the safest way to start a business? Well, here's the opportunity you've been waiting for. It's the exciting Franchise Showcase. Learn how to select a franchise that's right for you and the financing options available. See the best business concepts. It's your future. Get the most from it. Be sure to visit the free Franchise Showcase this Saturday from 1 to 3 or 6 to 8 p.m. at the Millennium Hotel, downtown St. Louis.
Summer brings hot savings on all new Oldsmobiles at Jack Schmidt. In June, buy a new Olds for 0 over factory invoice, 0 down, get 0 scheduled maintenance cost, and we'll make your first payment up to $250. Plus, all factory rebates still apply. And every new Olds is backed by the GM commitment, a 5-year, 60,000-mile GM protection plan, and continued availability of service and parts. Remember, 0 over invoice, 0 down, 0 scheduled maintenance costs, and we'll make your first payment at Jack Schmidt Oldsmobile in O'Fallon, Illinois.
From Lancome, a remarkable breakthrough for mature skin. Absolute replenishing cream. Lancome Laboratories creates a bio-network of natural ingredients to intensely moisturize, improve elasticity, and visibly revive clarity. Absolute feels like an absolute luxury. Works like an absolute necessity. Absolute from Lancôme, Paris. Available now at Famous Bar.
This portion of News 4 is sponsored by American Family Insurance.
Now, Julius Hunter, Vicki Newton, weather with meteorologist Kent Earhart, and sports with Steve Savard. News 4 at 5 o'clock continues.
St. Louis fire officials are releasing more information today about the tragic fire that killed 2 young city fire captains. News 4's Matt Cesny is in the newsroom right now with details. Matt?
Well, Julius, fire officials say there are still 2 things they do not know for certain yet. First, what started the fire in the 2-story building on the night of May 3rd, and the exact circumstances surrounding the deaths of Captains Rob Morrison and Derek Martin. Now, the blaze broke out at a refrigeration company along the 2200 block of Gravois. Only minutes into the call, Chief Sherman George says Captain Morrison is found by an unknown firefighter on the 2nd floor. However, they both lose contact with each other, and it was at that exact time that a call to evacuate the building was made by fire commanders. Chief George says firefighters were communicating on 2 separate channels of radio transmission at the time, so listen closely, as the call to evacuate is made on one channel and a call for help is made on another.
Go ahead, 802. Have all companies on the scene evacuate the building. That's clear. All companies on the scene, Gravois and Victor, evacuate the building. All companies on the scene at Gravois and Victor, evacuate the building. All companies on the scene at Gravois and Victor, evacuate the building. All companies on the scene at Gravois and Victor, evacuate the building. All companies on the scene, Gravois and Victor, evacuate the building.
Now, it is not exactly clear whether that distress call was heard right away, but it was only moments later when a head count revealed that Morrison was missing, and Captain Derek Martin and others raced back into that building to find him. Of course, as we know, Martin and Morrison died in that building. Chief George says the fire department is taking a close look at the communication system right now and looking to see if they can make improvements anywhere. And of course, the investigation into the events of that night continue. Julius?
Hope that tape will help them some. It's chilling and distressing.
Chilling is a good word. It is very chilling, and a lot of people are taking a close look and a close listen to those audio tapes.
All right, thank you. Matt Cesny reporting from the newsroom.
No charges will be filed in the case of a fetus found at a St. Charles County wastewater treatment plant. The medical examiner ruled that the fetus was miscarried, meaning she died in the womb. A plant manager found the remains of the little girl last week. It is unconstitutional to execute the mentally retarded. That is the ruling today from the Supreme Court. By a 6-3 vote, the High Court ruled that the death penalty is cruel punishment for the mentally retarded. Justices cited a change in public attitude in making their decision. In a closely divided vote of 5-4, the Supreme Court upheld an Illinois law that allows independent reviews of HMO decisions. That also today. There are 42 states with similar laws that allow patients to fight an HMO's refusal to approve payment for a treatment. And in a third decision, the court banned students from suing schools for releasing personal information. The majority ruling states that the main punishment for schools that violate privacy laws is a loss of federal funding.
A new national safety survey says public playgrounds are not measuring up when it comes to safety. The report by Consumer Research Group shows hundreds of thousands of kids are injured each year, with more than 15 deaths last year because of poor playground safety features. The Consumer Product Safety Commission allows companies to voluntarily set standards, but right now there are no federal safety requirements for playground equipment.
Playgrounds can be wonderful places for children to have fun and face new challenges. But children risk serious injury when they fall from equipment that is too high onto surfacing that is too hard.
No data for Illinois, but the survey found that in Missouri, 37% of the playgrounds have inadequate surfacing, and 63% of those playgrounds have inadequate fall zones. Another new tribute to Jack Buck is up for fans to see.
We will show you that. Plus, Steve Savard will have highlights of this afternoon's game. And Ken Earhart working on the 5-day and the weekend forecasts. He will have both of those for us. That's next, so don't go away.
Tonight on CBS, new information and new perspectives on that false alarm at the White House last night, the one that forced its evacuation and raised serious questions about gaps in air security. Tonight's CBS Evening News.
I'm Ray Preston. Fair St. Louis is 2 weeks from today, so how are you going to secure the entire arch grounds? In one sense, it may not be as difficult as you think. That story, new at 6.
Our air quality is a critical issue for you and the Forewarn Weather Team. In fact, each day the American Lung Association relies on us to create the air quality forecast for our entire region.
We're equipped with specialized tools that monitor critical atmospheric conditions.
So our sophisticated computer model can predict the next day's air quality.
So wherever you see the air quality forecast, in the newspaper, along the highway, or on another TV station, remember, it came from us, the Forewarn Weather Team, committed to improving our air quality.
This weekend, you can buy a used car without having to haggle. Take your pick from St. Louis's biggest and best selection of used cars. It's the new Lufuse Super 700. 700 used cars. Now at 3 locations for your convenience. Each car carries a low upfront price, clearly marked, saving you time and money. Many are Lufuse certified used cars with a no-charge bumper-to-bumper warranty. The Super 700 sale. Friday, Saturday, and Monday. 3 locations. Only at Lufuse.
Don't spend my time being what I'm not. Just live my life with what I've got. Loving every minute of it, keep calling the shots. Oh yeah, right there, keep hitting the spot. True to myself, do it my own way. Don't give a second thought to what the others say. Totally focused when you see what you want, see what you get. Come on, we got the best yet. Just live your life.
Got a passion for cheeseburgers? Then you got to get to DQ, because right now you can get 2 DQ cheeseburgers for $2 or 2 double cheeseburgers for just $3. Calling all cheeseburger lovers, DQ's something different.
Houses are like people. Don't stay out in the wind and rain.
Unless you're protected from the elements.
So don't forget Tyvek Home Wrap when you replace your siding. Tyvek's like an all-weather jacket that helps protect your walls from water damage.
And helps reduce your energy bill.
Especially in older, draftier homes. So when it's time to re-side your home,
insist on Tyvek Home Wrap under your new siding.
for more information, please call a Tyvek specialist at Hallmark Building Supplies at 1-800-642-2246.
Now that you've driven that Mazda Tribute, anything else you'd like?
A longer commute.
And if you're looking for a low lease payment, see your Mazda dealer now. Lease a Mazda Tribute, winner of Car and Driver's Compact Utility Test, for just $249 a month for 48 months with $29.73 due at lease signing. Test drive one at your Mazda dealer today. The offers are special. The acceleration is standard.
You know what they say? Bingo.
Play Muni Trivia. Click on KMOV.com or mail in a postcard to Muni Trivia at KMOV.
Jack Buck and Harry Carey, two of the most famous broadcasters of their time. And at one time, they were on the same team. I'm Craig Cheatham. That story's coming up at 6.
Also coming up at 6, the field of companies selling home insurance in Missouri just became smaller. We'll tell you why. Plus, something new at this year's Fair St. Louis celebration. You ask what? Monitoring from the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Find out how that will impact fairgoers, and it's all new at 6.
Well, drivers along Interstate 70 will now drive by a life-size memorial to our friend Jack Buck. Employees with DDI Media in St. John put up this billboard this morning to express the sentiments of the community. The company's general manager said it was the idea of his creative director. DDI Media helped create a second billboard today. That one is on Highway 40 and 14th Street in downtown St. Louis.
Very nice, and what a quick turnaround for them to get them
If
up so
ever there was a
quickly.
guy who deserved to have a highway named after him, it's
yeah.
Jack Buck.
That'd be great.
Or a stadium, like you said yesterday.
The weather's changed. We have a few hours left in spring 2002?
That's right. Yeah, tomorrow morning we officially get underway with summer for this. I had to think for a second. Summer. We've had this summer weather for so long, it seems as though it's been summer for a while now. It certainly is summer out there right now. Let's take a look and see what we have as far as your air quality forecast. Today was an orange forecast day. We'll have to get the data to find out how bad the air got, but tomorrow's forecast, once again, is orange. That means that we expect the air to be unhealthy for folks with special medical and health needs, especially respiratory ailments. Keep track of the elderly and those with special health needs over the next few days because of the air quality and the heat and humidity. As far as the allergens are concerned, the mold was in the moderate range today, a high count on the plantain and a low count on the grass. Outside, we go to the forewarned Doppler radar right now. We had a lone little shower pop up here. It's probably going to move off the screen. False returns at the center of your screen, so no real threat for rain this evening. Take a look at the riverfront on our Skycam 4. You can see we have a bit of an overcast, but also some peaks of sun. A very summer-like sky and a very hazy condition right now as well, looking very summer-like from South St. Louis back to the north, and pretty much the same story out at the airport. A little hazy there, too. It's 91 with the heat index at 95 with the relative humidity at 46%. Our barometer has fallen to 30.25 inches, and our high today was 92 after a low this morning of 75. No rainfall in the area, unfortunately, today. All right, it's 90 at Chicago and Springfield and Moline right now, also at Kansas City. A cool 87 degrees in Kirksville at this hour, 83 down at Cape. And see 90 at Alton and Cahokia, 91 at Belleville right now, and 88 degrees in Farmington at this hour. And you can see all the 80s and 90s over much of the eastern part of the country. Lots of heat, lots of humidity, lots of big thunderstorms to our north and west. Maybe some rain in parts of Denver, in and around Denver, and to the south and west. That would be good news there if they get the rain and not just the lightning. Move the maps ahead till 10 o'clock tonight. The storms stay off to our north through 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. We have some clouds rolling in perhaps, but all the storms are off to our north and west once again. Another hot day on tap tomorrow. The storm track remaining way to our north, but we're watching this low pressure system as it actually moves back to the west and maybe even a little north over the weekend. That's our best hope for rain as we get into the latter part of the weekend. Lows in the morning will be in the low to mid 70s. Highs tomorrow again in the low 90s, and the heat index numbers, the feels-like temperatures in the mid to upper 90s in the afternoon. So another hot day. Hot and muggy this evening with temperatures in the 80s. They'll drop down into the 70s overnight. By tomorrow morning, about 72 degrees. Under partly sunny skies, another hazy, hot day, 92 again. Don't forget that air quality and an orange tomorrow. Unhealthy air expected. Saturday's high about 90. Maybe a slight hope for an isolated thunderstorm in some of our southern counties on Sunday, but it still looks like the rain is going to hold off until the first to middle part of next week. The weekend, again, just a slight chance in southern counties for an isolated thunderstorm on Sunday, but not much hope for that. Good news for our pet of the week, though. Chewy, he got a new home in Baldwin today with a family there that has 2 kids and no other pets, so he's going to get all kinds of attention. And you know what? He's going to need it because he's a wild one. He's a fun dog. Very cute.
Let's hope he doesn't find his new family's furniture.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, thanks, Ken. Sports next.
Here's Steve Savard with the preview for you.
A few tears, but even more smiles today for Jack Buck. You'll hear Tony La Russa and Mike Matheny's tributes next. And they played ball at Busch as well. The Cardinals trying to close a perfect homestand at 6-0. Highlights next in sports.
Coming up next, CBS News with Dan Rather, followed by News 4 at 6 on KMOV Channel 4.
Hey, Jared.
Hey. What do you got there?
It's a Subway sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
What, are you off the diet? Jared's off his diet.
I'm not off the diet. It's a new low-fat taste from Subway.
Introducing great-tasting Subway Selects, like a delicious sweet onion chicken teriyaki and a red wine vinaigrette club.
Subway.
Why run all over town looking for a new car? Sunset Ford has more cars and trucks than anyone, at prices you're going to love.
Right now, get a no-charge DVD with car, truck, van, or SUV. Only Sunset Ford will install a DVD player with flip-down screen at no charge when you purchase a new Explorer, Windstar, Expedition, or F-150. And with any new Focus or Taurus, get a portable DVD at no charge.
For the best selection and a great price, don't close the deal till sunset. Sunset Ford.
This fancy sofa costs twice as much in a fancy setting. Why pay more? Buy it at weekends only and pay up to half price for the same thing.
I can't believe it. We saved over half price on a beautiful sofa.
Save hundreds of dollars on a huge selection of name brand furniture and mattresses.
The same furniture, why would I pay more?
Don't pay more. At weekends only furniture outlets, save on names like Broyhill, Serta, Simmons, Lane Action, and many we can't mention. Don't miss the grand opening of our new South County store on Lindbergh near I-55.
Get more sport utility for less at all 3 Bommarito Mazda locations. Loaded 2002 Mazda Tribute, guaranteed sale price $18,195. With air conditioning, power windows and locks, AM/FM stereo with CD, keyless entry, alloy wheels, and more. Tribute, the SUV with the soul of a sports car. Bommarito guaranteed sale price $18,195. Oh baby, what a deal! Bommarito Mazda now with 3 great locations in St. Peters, Ellisville, and South County. Missouri's largest Mazda dealer, where price sells cars.
Hey, Jared. Hey.
What do you got there?
It's a Subway sweet onion chicken teriyaki.
What, are you off the diet?
Jared's off his diet.
I'm not off the diet. It's a new low-fat taste from Subway.
Introducing great-tasting Subway Selects like a delicious sweet onion chicken teriyaki and a red wine vinaigrette club.
There was a lot of red in downtown St. Louis today for a couple of reasons.
Yeah, it was a for the purpose that it served. It was really a neat event on a sunny, warm day, perfect for baseball. More than 11,000 fans strolled past Jack Buck's casket at Busch Stadium to say so long to a man that made a difference in a lot of lives. Thousands more packed the stands behind and around home plate for the memorial service this afternoon. Joe Buck eloquently emceed. The Cardinals well represented by 2 guys that Jack respected very much, catcher Mike Matheny and manager Tony La Russa.
And if everybody knows Jack would never let you have the last word. So when I would give him that man for all seasons line, he'd poke me and he'd tell me, my favorite is to be a man of the postseason.
To the Buck family, our thoughts and sincere prayers are with you all. And to Mr. Buck, if I may borrow your words, pardon us while we stand and applaud.
Neat way to end it by Mike Matheny. I'm sure Jack would have loved the fact that the fans laughed and celebrated this afternoon. He also would have loved the fact that a baseball game followed today's ceremony. Cards and Angels in their series finale. Jack's flag and banner, that's a winner, flying in right field with the other retired numbers now. First inning, a man on third base hit by Tim Salmon, and it's 1-0 Angels. Scott Spezio adds to it later in the first. Base hit to center. Eli Marrero will come up throwing. There's a play at the plate, and Mike Matheny almost pulls off a great play, just can't hang on. 2-0 Anaheim. Cards got one back in the second. Eli Marrero will single. Albert Pujols will come home to score, and it's a 2-1 Anaheim lead. Now some defense coming up by Marrero in the fourth. He's playing center field. He comes in, tracks it, makes the sliding grab. But right now the Angels lead this one 3-1 in the 7th inning. Bud Smith went 4 2/3 innings, allowing 2 runs. Cardinals will take off after tonight's game, head to Chicago and play the Cubs at Wrigley Field. Don't forget the World Cup tomorrow morning. The U.S. plays Germany in that all-important quarterfinal match about 6:35 St. Louis time.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve.
I'll be up.
We're out of time. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you at 6.
Good evening.
KMOV Channel 4 is proud to bring you a special videotape commemorating the legendary broadcaster Jack Buck. All the profits will go to Dr. Joel Perlmutter's Parkinson's Research Fund. To order, call these numbers or go to KMOV.com.